Hello and welcome to the Gemini Rogues. This is our top 5 tier 5 heavies number 2. And I do believe it is the Kv1/S because Killers 05 said we can't separate them.
Well, we can't, but we're going to lumber them in together because it'd be a bit tricky to keep having Kv1s all the way through top 5. So we can't have lumbered 2 tanks into one for number 2. Brief history on Kv1. It started development in 1938 and it first saw action in December 1939, and it's famous for Germans practically not being able to do a lot with it.
Not be able to touch it.
Although it was a good tank, it weighed a lot and thus it was slow, and that kind of made a T-34 the more prominent use of tank for the Soviets, so it kind of slipped behind. And that's how the Kv1s come about. They kind of lowered the armour, they lowered the weight, they got that mobility back from it, and it kind of gave the Kv1 more or less a life. So although they are similar tanks, they are pretty different in other ways.
Okay.
The Kv1's fuller armour, the Kv1s still got decent armour but not as much, and they've loosened a bit off to get a bit more mobility.
What's the better one then? What's the better one?
For me, the Kv1s is the better one. We're going to speak more in these videos. I'm going to tell you why they're at number 2, what to do against them, how to beat them, how to get the best out of them.
How to beat them.
How to kill them.
How to kill them.
Yeah. So.
But you're going to show us how to play them as well.
Yeah. We've got a couple of Kv1s videos and we've got one Kv1. We're going to show you different guns on each one, and we're going to explain why and what they do.
Okie dokes. Well, nice short intro, Killers 05. Let's have a look at a good clip then, because it's the number 2, top 5, tier 5. It's got to be good.
Well, we're going to start with Kv1s. We're packing the 85mm gun on this tank, which has 119 pen and 159 damage, 160 damage. Standard APCR shell on it, it's got 159, so it's not a bad tank for its gun, but you can fit different guns on it. That's one of the best things about the Kv1 and the Kv1s. You can use different guns, different play styles developed from different things.
Yeah, true.
But it's a real user-friendly tank because of its armour. It's got vast frontal armour. I mean, the Kv1, it's got 110mm turret armour, and the Kv1s hasn't got as much, but it's still packing 82.
Okay.
So
That's
it's
not
lost
bad.
a bit, but it gains a hell of a lot of mobility. And that allows you to open up an all different game. You can play it in a medium style. So we're going to start this replay now, we're going to have a look and see what the Kv1s can do.
Go on then, Killers 05. What map is this, by the way?
I think this is Lakeville.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Lakeville.
And you can see here, this another thing with Kv1s, it's fantastic armour, brilliant for side scraping. You can see it, Churchill. He's trying to think shots at us. He's not doing much, but we've got a bit of backup. Cheeky turret action there. You can see exactly where it's got one.
Cheeky turret shot.
And we just finish him off. We're going to plough straight on now. Another Kv1s we is it. Keep getting his turret, ain't we?
No way.
There you go, you can see peekaboo tactics perfect for this tank. Pop out, take a shot, angle your front of your armour across the front of them, and you're not going to bounce. Practically everything off anything tier 4 and 5.
That's a nice reload. More or less 4 seconds.
It's really quick firing gun.
Yeah,
so it's about 4.2 seconds I think you get per reload. Ooh. Cheeky little Churchill there again. See, he's doing exactly what you shouldn't do in a Churchill. Show him it full side reload. Taking advantage of it. Bit of a douche move there.
I mean, the accuracy of this gun's pretty good, but is it typical surgeon?
Yeah, you can roll out. The gun's not the best thing about the tank. You can see its mobility is fantastic. Frontal armour, it's great, so you can just roll up and don't shoot rocks. That's not the best thing to do.
No, don't shoot them.
Aim for that turret, smash him in turret, Churchill. Spoke about them before, we've seen them at number 4.
157, what does it roll up to, potential?
I'm not sure, you can rack up a fair bit, you can touch 200 if you're lucky, but not very often.
Okay.
You always tend to roll low, you know what it's like playing this game. You see long range accuracy on this gun, it's enough. I mean, ammo rack straight out, 210 damage there you go. You can roll 210 if you take the ammo rack out. It really rolling. But you've just got to make use of your turret armour and your hull armour.
Yeah.
Even dodgy shot if you can.
Yeah,
there we go. Side scrape off this rock here. Use the side armour. Bouncing shots. We're bouncing shots.
I like how you tucked in behind the rock.
And at this point, I've noticed that there's no one at our base. No one at all. We've got to get back there. We're going to have to make a death run across this little gully in front of us in a second and try and get back before the cappers out. I think it's going to happen any second now. We're going to start getting capped. I was speaking to the platoon. I think it's Brett who's with me on this game. Who's another Kv1s, and I'm saying we've got to get back. I've got to get back. There's no one else is going. We're not all going to be able to take this cap anyway. Maximum of 3 capping. So let's get back on. This is what's good about this tank. This mobility. If you're on a standard Kv1, You ain't getting back to that base now.
So what's its maximum speed?
It can get up to towards 40, which is pretty good for an heavy tank.
Pretty good. Tier 5 heavy.
And now it's time, we've got to get up there. Will probably cost us then too much time as it is. See the old two sat behind us, that's what the Kv1s and the Kv1 they're all a battering around front line heavy tank. You've got the armour, you've even got the speed in the Kv1s to get about. It's trammed down here at 30, we're doing a bit of a gradient.
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty nippy. It's definitely faster than the Churchill.
So basically, we'll talk tactics for this tank. Side scraping's a must. Stick your front in, back up, everything's bouncing off you.
I'm taking this as more mobile than the T1 Heavy.
It's about the same, I think. Packing about the same speed. It's just this thing has got a lot more armour to it than T1 Heavy, sideways on and stuff like that. The only weak spot with this tank you've got is he's sat on fire a lot. Fuel tanks seem to be all the way down the side of your...
That's not good.
side of your tank. But we've got here, look, we've got literally seconds left to get back. 4 seconds, sideways on, T1 Heavy, reset it.
Boom. Oh, he's looked at it. He took his time to
But now you can see fire rate's not. You can see the fire rate of the T1 Heavy compared to the Kv1.
Side on.
It's packing. If he'd have faced me there, we'd have been in a bit of trouble. But we've done enough. We've packed up. We've saved the base. 2 seconds left to go. We'll try and smash a quick shot in. Just missed out on it. And that's what the Kv1s can do. You can get forward. You can get back. You can do pretty much anything in it. It's so flexible. It's so easy to use. It's user friendly. That's what makes it such a good tank.
So plus points. I mean, you just ran through some, but I want to compare it to T1 Heavy because that's number
mobile. The pretty same mobility. It packs more DPM in its shot, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
You're getting more damage per shot. Penetration is slightly more, but not a lot.
Okay.
It's just got more armour all the way around.
More armour.
More armour, side armour. Everything's pretty much armoured on it.
Does the what's the damage per minute? Is that higher than the T1 Heavy?
It's not going to be too dissimilar.
Okay.
But you've got more scope for gameplay where you can show your side a bit more, and you can side scrape a lot easier. I mean, with 40mm side armour on T1 Heavy, you're not side scraping a lot. You've got to show everything your front, so this leads to a bit more. You can put your face to someone and a bit more side to someone else. It gives you more scope when you're in a 1-on-1 battle, 2-on-1, 3-on-1 battle.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good.
The other drawback of the Kv1s is its gun depression is not great.
Not great.
It's just a Russian tank. Get used to it. You're going to have to see it.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Let's have another clip and we'll run through that one. I want lots of reasons why this is number 2 of our top 5. Lots of reasons. Come on.
Kv1s. We can see here manoeuvrability. We've already got 9 penetrating shots in by this point and a kill. We had a bit of fun with an OI. That's our manoeuvrability you get from this tank. You can take an OI and without even taking any shots off him.
Wow.
And kill him.
Of course, you're at full out.
It's like a little medium in that way. That's why Kv1s is so good. It's so versatile. You can do any play style you want in it. You can sit up front and take shots if you're in a tier 5 match. You can scoot around at back and pick side shots off if you're in a tier 6 or 7.
So one of the main reasons it's number 2 is its manoeuvrability.
Its manoeuvrability, it doesn't lose anything in firepower compared to T1 Heavy. It's got the same ability as the T1 Heavy.
Okay.
It's just a little bit more flexible with its side armour.
Okay, what about the gun damage? So gun damage is better than the T1 Heavy?
Yeah, 160 damage from this 85mm gun. Slightly more penetration. Not brilliant, but only like 4 more. This Kv1 does the exact same gun as this, as the Kv1s. The Kv1 we're going to see later on, gets a little different gun. We're going to go through that later on, but the accuracy is not bad. Don't get me wrong, you want to be playing close combat with this tank. You don't want to be sitting at back sniping in it. It's not built for that.
The typical Russian, as not very accurate.
Yeah, but then they see this. Basically, this is why it's so good. You want to stick it in someone's face and challenge them to do. I mean, we're going to see here, we're going to take 3 tanks on. It's going to be shortly, it's just going to be us. And you can see quality of the turret. It only has 85 turret armour, I know, but it's still quality.
You can obviously compete well in your own tier.
Very.
What about if you're in tier 7? Because that will happen.
Tier 7 manoeuvrability is brilliant on it. You can run away if you get in certain situations. You can get outside of things you can't pen from front.
Okay.
The armour's brilliant for angling. Absolutely brilliant. You stick front into a rock, side scrape off it. do what you need to do, basically.
It rocks back and forward nicely.
I mean, for a tier 3 or 4 tank, a Kv1 or Kv1s is just, what do I do with this thing? Because the side armour is just pretty much as good as the frontal. There's not many weak spots on it. The arse is a bit of a weak spot, as it is on every tank.
Yeah, catches fire a lot, does it?
I mean, even the sides on the standard Kv1 is 75mm thick.
It's not bad for tier 5.
No, not at all. So they can be a problem to kill, but if you do get them, do shoot them inside if you can. Because like I say, we spoke about it, it's very high fire risk. That thing's going up. No two ways about it. Every time you get shot inside, it seems to damage your fuel tank.
So aim for the fuel tank.
As you can see here, this is perfect for it. Just show your turret, peekaboo style, bump, bouncing off a tier 6 ARL there. Still firing in, sticking them in lower plate. Not a bit lucky with that shot there. Dropped into the lower plate. And then he got lucky back, straight back at you. Bouncing shots off his turret, off at Churchill now. He's showing us his weak turret. Can't get it. We're 3 on 1. We're just dancing a bit. We're chancing his arm. We should really be fodder here at this point. But we're fighting.
I like that damage roll then, 177. I'd live with that in tier 5.
I mean, it's got a weak spot up front, which is its machine gun port, but you try it in it.
Yeah.
Unless he's sat still and not moving. If you're dancing around like I'm doing here, it's pretty hard to move in.
Yeah,
the thing
I don't really want to stay
a weak spot like a machine gun port. As you can tell, fire rate's enough to mince through while you're trying to find it.
So I like the fire rate. I agree with you with that one. I like the manoeuvrability.
It's pretty good. It's got good armour, manoeuvrability, good gun. It's solid. And it's very easy to play. So for that respect, for people playing tier 5, I know you can't get this straight off the bat. You have to go through the Kv1 to get the Kv1s, but the Kv1's perfect to learn from. That's the best thing about the Kv tanks. They fit every style of play. You've got a derp gun for people who like derping. You've got a quick firing gun for people who like to race about quick fire. You've got just this one, the 85mm, that just does a bit of everything. It's got fire rate, it's got damage. It just ticks every box. It fits every playstyle. Kv1s feet suit everybody, and that's what makes it such a good tank. If you BDR doesn't suit certain people, Churchill doesn't suit certain people, and definitely T1 Heavy doesn't suit certain people. Some people absolutely loathe that thing. You can't not like the Kv1s or the Kv1. I would say the Kv1s is better just for its sheer manoeuvrability.
What's a negative?
We spoke about the fire risk. It likes to set on fire. There's not many. There's not many negatives. It's such a fun tank to play. You can do so much with it. It's so versatile. Situationally, it can take its own against anything. If you need to run away, it can run away. If you need to flank, it can flank. If you need to stand and fight, it can stand and fight. It's a pretty tick every box kind of tank.
Very nice game. Very nice game, that.
And in the next game, we're going to look at the one you have to do to get to it, the Kv1. This thing's got more armour.
Okay. Straight
out of the bat, like we said before, 82mm turret armour on the Kv1s, which is still good, don't get me wrong, but that was sacrificed for its speed. The Kv1 has got 110mm of armour, which is pretty impressive for tier 5.
Yeah, true.
But on this one, we're packing the big 122 122mm U11 derp cannon. 61 penetration. What are we going to do with 61 penetration? You don't need full penetration to do damage, but if you do, you're doing 450.
Yeah, I was going to say 450.
450. If you come across many tanks at tier 3 and 4, even 5, you can one-shot a lot of tier 3s and 4s in this.
Yeah, but will it penetrate?
Easily. 61 is enough to penetrate 3s and 4s it's going to come across.
We're talking splash damage as
well? Splash damage as well. You don't even need to get full penetration to do a lot of damage you're going to see in this gun. Problem with it, aim time. Usual, and you can see how slow the Kv1 is here compared to a Kv1s.
I can see the difference already.
That is a drawback, but again, you can fit a different gun. That you can't fit this derp gun on the Kv1s. The other guns you can on the Kv1s are on the Kv1, but the derp cannon is specifically for the Kv1. I'm just using it in this game. I don't think it is the best gun for the tank. I do believe the 85mm gun is better. I'm just using it as an example to show you what cannon can't do. In a way, aim time's horrific, absolutely horrific. Look at that.
That balloon.
It takes forever. I mean, we've got good armour. We're going to need it because we're going to have to stand there and aim in. If you know what I mean.
So we've really said the best way to kill this is biting it in the ass.
Well, it's different ways of killing different ones. The Kv1 is slow. And it's not just slow going forward, it's slow moving turret, it's slow turning around, so you can get around it and you can shoot it up its arse and you can set it on fire through shots inside. It's got more armour, but you can get to its weak spots easier. The Kv1s on the other hand can swing about and move about and run about, so he's a little bit tricky, but he hasn't got as much armour. So it swings and roundabouts, it's what suits your playstyle.
Fair enough.
And you can see, look at the turret traverse.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a scout tank, but he's not exactly tramming on. Trying to get that turret to lead a shot, like, I just can't get it in time. You can look how slow it turns. Yeah, it's got armour. I know his clip's empty now, so he's not a threat anymore.
Why is he just hanging there, isn't he?
And bang, you can see the damage it can do, but this thing just, it hits when it wants to. It's Russian. We know what Russian accuracy is like in game. We see Kv1s snapping shots off in it, and then we watch this and it's... Looked quite good though, that didn't it? It weren't my kill, but it looked quite good. So the Kv1, you can see here, its manoeuvrability is an issue. We've got tanks around us and they've let us take the lead. This is a tier 7 match, by the way. We can see here the tier 7 artillery. We didn't get full penetration there. And you can see we still did 160 damage.
It's not bad.
Without full penetration.
So the reason that
and even then the artillery shot, it didn't do a lot of damage through the armour.
True.
The Kv1 has got fantastic armour. Look at this. This is why it doesn't suit me. I'm not a big pants.
So why are we putting it in with the Kv1s? Because the Kv1s is technically number 2 in our top 5.
You can own a game in a Kv1 just through its sheer arm. If you get a tier 5 match in a Kv1, things are going to struggle to kill you, even if they get around you. That's why it's so good. This is a tier 7 match, like I say. We see we've got a Kv2, we can't catch him because we're so slow. Tier 6 Churchill.
I mean, because the viewer will be watching, and the viewer's going to be thinking, this is a Kv1, I'm number 2.
Well, you can see it, we're going to start bounce, bang. Tier 6 tank, bouncing shots off the front of you. And we're not even worried, not even remotely worried that he's going to penetrate us. Splash damage again, 160. I mean, it's disappointing I couldn't see more. That's an 88, so he's pretty well armoured. We struggle to fully penetrate him there. You can see the aim time again.
I don't like that aim time.
I mean, it has got weak spots on its turret cheeks, but they're hard to get a shot on. A good Kv1 driver will keep moving. He'll just rock backwards and forwards. You can't afford to do that with a Dirk cannon because you can't aim in quick enough. So we're kind of trying to sit still, do what we can do.
What equipment have you got on this Kv1?
Always take a gun rammer. Always get that aim, that reload time down. Look at that, it's the tracks. Nice side-on shot on the Tiger, and we get the tracks. It's good if you get in a tier 5 match, and it's good if you get in a tier 7 match. The armour don't let you down. It still stands up in a tier 7 match. That's how good it is. It's just its manoeuvrability that lets the Kv1 down. But you get that with a Kv1s. That's why the Kv1s is a better tank for me. What we've said already, you have to play through the nipple twist left. You have to play through the Kv1 to get the Kv1s. You can't just open it up first. But for people just coming into tier 5 heavies, if you're wanting to go down that route, Kv1's a good learning curve.
Excellent very curve. True, actually, very true.
And you can see there, we're only 550 blocks. It's normally more than that, but first class, nearly 1500 damage-free kills in a tier 7 match. It can hold its own.
This a quick sum up then, because technically we've given it its positives and negatives during the gameplay, but if we quickly sum it up, what are the negatives?
View range, we didn't mention that. Kv1 and Kv1s are blind as a bat. It's always an option if you can squeeze a bit of equipment in there. Optics, because you never sat still long enough at Kv1. You're always trundling forwards trying to keep up.
I agree with that.
The other backing against using that kind of stuff is that you're normally front line, so you're normally face to face, so it's not hard to see what you're fighting, but the view range is pathetic, absolutely pathetic. It's not brilliant for that. The gun depression's a little bit of a negative, not overly bad, but not great. The biggest one is it catches fire. We mentioned it. It don't take much
that's a good way to kill it, though, isn't it?
It doesn't take much to set a Kv1 on fire. You can get shots into its side because we've got a massive fuel tank that just runs outside of it.
So
and that's for both. That counts for the Kv1 and the Kv1s.
In the back.
And just one drawback that you don't get on the Kv1s to the Kv1 is the speed. There's not many negatives. The positives are it's so easy to play.
It's manoeuvrable.
I'm not going to call it a noob tank, but it's a fantastic tank to learn in, because at tier 5 this is the first time you come across armour, you come across tanks that you can't penetrate easily. And the Kv1 is a fantastic tank to learn in, to learn where to shoot other tanks, because you're bouncing shots off them in the process, if that makes sense.
So what are the positives? I want lots of positives.
It's a frontline tank, it's a flanking tank, It's a runaway tank.
DPM's good, isn't it? DPM's good.
It's everything. There's lots of positives. The armour's good. You can side scrape massively in this tank with its side on. We've said 75mm the armour on the side of the Kv1.
Yeah.
Stick that at an angle, reversing that from building, nothing's penetrating you.
You could live in tier 7 happily, if you've got to.
If you know, yeah, and depends what you're up to. There's some stuff at
Player dependent.
Player dependent. You've got to know what you can take on and what you can. The one-shot capability of the dirt cannon we spoke of.
Yeah.
It's just a good, solid, brilliant tank. It's so easy to play.
You keep saying it's good, but tell me why.
It's versatility.
Okay.
Any map, town map. Yeah, we go frontal armour. Big open map, we can go flanking round and we can get shots in. That little bit of view.
So what would you suggest not to do in it? Go side on, obviously.
Yeah, keep your sides, if you can keep it at an angle, angle it. If you've got to learn how to angle your Kv1 to get the best out of it. Because you can get 7.5 if you over angle it and you get shot inside. Would
you say keep moving if you're in the Kv1s, or do you need
Depends what tier. Tier dependent, map dependent. But you can do that, so there's a point the Kv1s is so flexible.
Can the gun penetrate stuff in tier 7?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's APCR around 159mm penetration rate. It's not fantastic, but it'll do a job. It's enough for a Tiger turret or a front part.
It's faster than the French potato. It's faster than the Churchill.
It's the same speed as a BDR. The
T1 heavy. Okay, so that's why it's number 2 then. So it's got better. I think BDR's got better gun, hasn't it?
Yeah, but it's not got fire rate.
Not got fire rate. What about accuracy?
Kv1's got better accuracy.
Okay. What about Churchill? Gun damage is pretty good.
Churchill's he's doing less damage.
Less damage. What T1 heavy?
It's doing less damage.
But armor.
Less fire rate. It's got more frontal armour, but none on the side.
None on the side.
So you can't side scrape.
Churchill gets tracked a lot. Yeah.
The Kv1s. It's the fact that the T1 heavy, you've got to get your front to everything.
Yeah.
And you can manoeuvre around and flank. But you've got to make sure you're getting that front back to Kv1s. You can get front mods onto them. You can flank round them.
I'm just trying to justify the number 2 out of 5. Yeah.
You can do things in the Kv1 and the Kv1s you can't do in the T1 heavy without getting killed.
Okay, then Kilo 5. I think we've proven the Kv1s is number 2 out of our top 5 heavies. We'll have to see which is our number 1, and that's coming next. And
if you like this video, please give us a like. Please give us a subscribe. It means the world to us.
Yeah, and we do hang around on Twitter, so always search Twitter for Gemini Rogues. We will always comment on stuff and keep you up posted with new stuff. Okay then, thank you very much for watching. Laters.